What's up, everybody, and welcome to another reading with the Crown Priestess. I'm here to give somebody an almost personal reading. It's kind of how I feel this is about to go. Excuse my voice. I've done quite the partying this weekend. I had a really nice time with my family. I hope that you all enjoyed your time as well. I hope that you guys are staying safe and healthy. And warm, especially if you're on the East Coast. Where I'm at is really fucking cold, like bad. I am available for personals for those of you who are interested in that. What else? I've been uploading videos quite a lot, so there's actually quite a few videos that you guys can check out if you have the time, if you give a shit. You can also contribute by liking the damn video. That's it. That's all she wrote. Just hitting that little thumbs up in the corner if you see anything you like, hear, smell, or inspired by in the moment. And maybe if you like my scarf, give me a like. You like it, fuck it. It's worth a shot, right? But anyway, I was immediately called to do this reading because I was watching Star Trek Into the Darkness for, I don't know, maybe the 413th time in my life. And that's honestly probably a low number because I'm like a film junkie, if you didn't know that about me. But anyway, I was called to do this reading because even though I've watched the movie so many times and I love everything about it, at the end of the movie, in closing, James Kirk, the captain, he's given a speech to the Starfleet, like at an award ceremony or something, and it stood out to me now more than ever. And so I knew that it was spirit telling me that I had to come on here and just share this, with whoever comes across the video. And I quote, he says, there will always be those who mean to do us harm. To stop them, we risk awakening the same evil within ourselves. Our first instinct is to seek revenge when those we love are taken from us, but that's not who we are, end quote. He continues on, but that was the part that I wanted to share with you guys, and I know that was the part that Spirit was inspiring me to come and do a reading for. Right now, someone is experiencing, needless to say, a dark time. But what's inspiring the dark time, in addition to other things that are just happening in the world, right? Like, because people are going through several things. People are struggling with money. People are struggling with their health. People are struggling, to make ends meet. You're struggling in family ties and with kids and all types of shit, right? But specifically, the dark time that I'm referring to is that spiteful energy that is quoted in that movie. Somebody wants or has taken revenge, right? And as a fire sign, revenge can feel extremely good. It can feel very sweet. It can feel very matter of fact, like about in a lot of situations. But at the end of that quote, what brought me to bring the message, and what brought me to that to understanding for a while now, yes, but in that moment I knew. I said, yeah, it's but that's not who I am. And that was exactly it. The part where he says, but that's not who we are. It's not who you are. And so Spirit is reminding you and asking you to remind yourself, who is it that you truly are? Because yes, some people are just fucking evil and they do evil shit, and it becomes very tiring sometimes when you have to be around people like that all the time, or when you constantly come across people like that on your walks of life, and it can be depleting and it can infect you, right? Where we also become that evil. We want that vengeance. We want that get back. We want to be spiteful. And I feel like whoever I'm talking to, you did, you did get back. You did, sort of get outraged, and you just saw red and you say, you know what, enough's enough and I'm gonna get mines. But Spirit is encouraging you now to not stay in that place, not remain in that energy, because we're human and we need balance. But it is not in your nature to be that person. It's not in your nature to be spiteful, to be vengeful, to be mean, to be evil. That's just not who you are. And so they don't want you to lose yourself in said darkness for forever, ultimately, because what happens is sometimes we spend so much fucking time in that place, we become that, for good. And it's like, that was never your path. That was never what you were meant to be. You were not meant to, you didn't come into this space with that purpose, So, yeah, let's see what the cards have to say. I'm just going to take it to the cards now and see what messages Spirit has to bring you guys. I don't want to be here too long. I don't want to rant. I don't even want to strain my voice. I've been drinking so much fucking tea today. Of course, I had my coffee this morning. But then I just was drinking tea, and then I made a soup, and I had a broth. And I was so tired, honestly, of drinking hot stuff. And now here I am with my iced ass beverage. My iced ass cranberry juice, my diet cranberry juice. Which is not helping my throat, obviously, but I don't care. I was just so tired of, like, the warm beverages. Some of you could be tired of doing the same old shit. Wow. But look at this, y'all. You gotta be, like, seriously. Rebirth in the winter. So this is current events. And then remember, an awakening. It goes again to show, like, and it may take action, it takes courage. You have to take action. It takes courage to walk away sometimes, Some of you got your vengeance, and again, it felt good, but until it didn't. And that's I'm channeling that very clear message right now, like. And it stops feeling good because it's just not who you are. And so don't force yourself to be something that you're not. Some people, they can't help it, to be just the nasty, fucking dark, demonic energies that they are. And some people can't help but being the sweet, soft, bubbly, forgiving ass energy that they are. You know what I mean? Like, you can only be true to who you are at the end of the day. And that's what this is all about here. Remember and rebirth. You need to come back to yourself. You need to get back to your center. Because I think too, when we start walking in, like, someone else's skin like that, and I say that for a lack of better words, but I say it to say, like, yeah, it's like you walking in somebody else's skin, because this is not really who you are. You lose your identity entirely. You know what I mean? Like, you literally have to start from scratch. It's almost like, it's like when, and now being, because it's the winter card on the bottom, right? That was the winter card. It says it on the bottom of the card, with the remembrance. And it's like when you, in the summertime, I mean, everybody doesn't tan, but like for me, right, I tan really, I wish I was tan right now. I'm so pale right now. I hate when I'm this pale. But I tan like really richly in the summer. My melanin be melanin needing it, okay? But when you get tans like that in the summer and it looks good and all that shit, once it gets cold again, once the sun is not out as long and that vitamin D starts, less and less, what happens? You peel, right? Like your skin's, like literally your skin literally starts to peel. And then, you know, that kind of, I don't want to say true pigment because melanin is it's in our body, so it is our true color as well. But you know what I'm trying to say? It's like that rebirth, that first pigment, that new pigment underneath is lighter, right? It's different. And I don't know why Spirit is using that as the analogy, but they are. And it's like, again, I think it's speaking to that balance. Like, you can be both. You have to be both. You have to be yin and yang. You have to know when it's time to stand up for yourself and say enough is enough. But you also have to understand that you cannot be that way forever. Okay? Because once you've got, okay, you got your lick back with whoever you needed your lick back for. Now what? You just gonna keep antagonizing them till you die? You gonna look for new victims now? You just it's gonna fester in you, and it's going to make you inevitably miserable, unhappy, sad, and then you will start to attract karmic things that you would never otherwise have attracted to you if you were not living in such a low frequency. You know what I'm trying to say? So I hope that's making sense to somebody. It can't get realer. I swear I love them. I swear. Alchemy and reflection. Okay. So on the alchemy card, it says ancestor guides. You've been led here quite directly by your spirit team, by your ancestors, and they are watching you alchemize. They are watching you turn your pain into power. They want you to stand up for yourself, but they also want you to rise above, okay? Reflection, projection. I mean, do I even need the cards at this point? You treated somebody the way they treated you is like, you can only do that but for so long, okay? So like I said, I don't even think you're being punished. I want to say this, and I want to make this very clear. Yes, what goes around comes around. Karma is karma, this, that, and the fourth. You have the right to defend yourself. You have the right to stand up for yourself. You have the right. Those are the rites of passage. When you learn that lesson and you realize, nah, niggas is not getting over on me no more, and you put your foot down, you have every and absolute right to do so. But once you have been able to mirror that energy back, get the fuck out of there. Do not stay there. Do not pull yourself that low. I don't think that anybody is being punished at this time. I'm not getting that energy from spirit. You know, I think if anything, they understand why you had to do that, why you needed to get your lick back, you know, however you had to do that. But now is the time that they are allotting you to step away. Because if you do continue, then repercussions might get a little crazy. And I say that to say because when I shuffle those on the bottom, you have the spy card, watching and inspecting. And I don't think that this is anybody watching you. I think this is spirit watching you. They are making sure that you don't fall far from, you know, they don't want you to fall far from grace. They don't want you to fall too far. You did what you did. You had to do it. You learned. You did. Get the fuck out of there now. Okay? Period. Let's see what messages they have for you guys. Let's get extra message and some advice for the collective spirit for whoever's personal ass reading this is right now. Right? For some of you, it was in a love situation. For others of you, it was in a home situation. For others of you, you had a jealous person around you in those places, either with family or I wanted to say at work, so maybe, but I'm not getting that. I'm getting more, this was with a love situation for a lot of you, right? Daughter romance. And then you have Temple Path. But I'm looking at this and it almost looks like the Four of Wands. And I do see with the energies around, I feel like, and you had the envy card. So, yeah, somebody did you dirty, right? And that's what I'm trying to say to you. It's like fair play. Whatever it is that you have to do back, say back, get back. But what's done is done. Okay, and I can't stress that enough because I keep going back to the movie and the part where he says, I wrote it, sorry y'all. I had to write it to remember. Now mind you, I watched the movie all the time, I know the words, but he says, to stop them, we risk awakening the same evil within ourselves. And you don't want to become the people who hurt you, but so often we do. So often we do. And I know that you recognize it. And Spirit knows that you're recognizing it. And this is why they are watching you very carefully. They are watching you. And they are guiding you, right? You have your ancestor guides. They are guiding you, but they are watching you, and they are telling you to remember who the fuck you are, because you are not the people who hurt you. You are not this fucking evil, don't be this. Don't be this bitch. She's fried. You know what I'm trying to say? You don't want to be that woman. You don't want to be the villain, you don't. Because what do we learn about villains when we watch these movies, for real? They're broken people. 9 times out of 10. They're people who let their vengeance go too far a lot of times, okay? Some people are just born bad, sure. But the thing about the people who are born bad is like, they win with a lot of shit. Because look at the world, and when you're taking a look at the world that we're in right now, right? And some people will say, like, do you think, we did that in college. I don't even remember what the fuck the theory was called, but it's like, the glass half full, glass empty, the pessimist versus the optimist, do you think people are mostly bad or do you think people are mostly good? And it's like, today, if you ask people that, most people will say people are bad, right? People are terrible. But the truth is, there's an even amount of good and bad, and I'll tell you why. I'll use myself as an example, but you can use any reader, right? Look at the light workers, look at the root workers, look at the herbalists, the spiritualists, the priests, the priestess, the pastors, the reverends, I don't care, the rabbis. It doesn't matter what faith you walk. There are people whose purpose is to lead and teach and help you alchemize, okay? Help you grow into the better version, the good version, the righteous version, as best you can be in this form. And then there are those bad ones, and I won't give examples of who those people disguise themselves as. Some of them disguise themselves as people like me, unfortunately, but they disguise themselves in a lot of, they're all over the place, right? Wolf in sheep clothing, everywhere. You see it all the time. Unfortunately, those people are the real badness. Yes, they're here. They're plotted out here just like we're plotted out here. And our jobs, them doing the bad shit, and then me and the people like me doing or trying to do the good shit, right? It's about influence. I'm influencing, I'm inspiring, I'm guiding you. And they're doing the same exact thing, only they're doing it for another fucking side. You understand that? And what happens is we're letting them win. It's like you're choosing, you rather choose to do that than do this. Mostly because the good thing, the right thing, is usually the more challenging thing. It's harder to say, nah, I'm not gonna smoke with y'all because you don't want to look like something. It's harder to say, no, I'm not gonna cheat on my girlfriend Because all your homeboys is watching you and they're going to call you gay. You know what I'm saying? It's harder not, it's always harder to do the right thing, you know? But if you put it into practice, if you made it as second nature as it is for you to breathe, then it wouldn't be. It would not be challenging. You would not be affected by what are people going to think, what are people going to say, how are people going to look at me. And so the difficult place that a lot of you are finding yourself in right now, right? Like to this temple path, this envy, you're allowing these energies to block. It's like they in your way. They don't want to let you get in the crib. You know what I'm trying to say? And they're like, oh, you gotta fight me. You know, for this is an example. And it's like, you could fight. You're not even scared. You know what I mean? You probably could beat the bitch ass. But then what do that make you now? Now you're the talk of the town. Everybody gonna be world stalling, phones out. So all the negative shit that comes with that, what? You can end up in jail. You can end up really hurting somebody worse than you even tried to, because that's a manslaughter. And I pray, I'm sending love and light. I hope nobody's going through no crazy shit like that, but it be accident. Manslaughter is just that. It's an accident. I didn't even mean to kill this person, but they died in the middle of whatever scuffle. Now you're in jail. Who you think put you there? The angel or the little demon on the shoulders, right? So enough of that. What is your advice? Yeah, because I'm dragging now, and this was supposed to be quick, but I just want it to be thorough. You know, I hope I'm getting through. Sometimes I look back at these videos and I feel like I could have said things differently, said more, said something else, but I gotta give it how spirit gives it in the moment, or I'll lose it. Your advice is to use your words, okay? Use your words, use your voice, use logic, use reason. Use reason. Because I feel like a lot of you are in a situation, no matter what it is, that may have, if not caused you already, at least inspired or provoked, thank you, provoked thoughts of violence, thoughts of some dark shit, you know. And this, without getting scary about it, you know, I want you to remember that spirit is watching you, okay? And don't do it, because they won't. It's like the divine has all the mercy, but they have the power to give you none. You understand? And I feel right now that in your time of hurt, anger, dismay, vengeance, spite, you know, they're still holding their hand out to you. But if you continue, they will close this hand. Okay? Now I'm getting more film junkie stuff from Planet of the Apes. When Caesar he would ask for permission from his master, and they did this with each other as well, the other apes. And it was a sign of that, like respect it, like permit me, allow me, you know, to do this, you know, or people did that. The other apes did that when they wanted forgiveness, like, you know, I mean no harm. Because, you know, an open hand like this is less threatening than an open hand like this, or a closed one, right? You get it? But at the end of the movie, towards the end of the movie, when the director from the science lab was hanging by a fucking thread off that bridge, and he told Caesar to help him, he closed his hand and he let Koba kill him. So you understand, I don't want to scare anyone, because that is not what spirit is here to do. But spirit is very much this, or they are this. And that's what we all are. The yin, the yang. And so keep your balance, because some of you are You're just at that threshold where you are going to cross over, and they don't want to lose you. They do not want to lose you to that. Okay, so your advice is to think soundly, think logically. Okay, fifth chakra is throat chakra. It's all about communication. It's about speaking clearly, speaking honestly, say it with your chest. But think before you speak, think before you act, because a lot of times we can avoid even getting into action-based solutions. Like, you know what I mean by that? Because action-based, we need to live action-based. But you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the physical stuff, the physicalities, the heavy-duty Mars energy, right? Can be talking to an Aries or a Scorpio specifically involved. Set that aside and, take the higher road. Make the harder decision and do what's right. It may be difficult, hard to hear what people have to say about that, how people look at you. Sometimes, I know the world we live in. If somebody says they want to fight you and you like, no, I don't want to fight, I know what that's like. I know what people will think of you. It doesn't matter, because let them do whatever they do. That's their fucking business. They have no fucking life. Again, some people just born bad, but most people are not. And I say that to say that you may be surprised at what you can accomplish with just a conversation, and not the spiteful, vengeful, low down, dirty route that you had to maybe take in the past, and that these people or person have taken toward you. All right? I'm going to do one special for y'all that I haven't done in a while for the public. I do it more in my private readings, but you can ask a yes or no question to Mama Muerte, okay? In regards to anything, but particularly probably about the situation, if this reading resonates. If her answer is yes, she will dance back and forth. If her answer is no, she will dance in a circle, okay? Thank you. You can pause the video if you need more time to contemplate on this question. The answer will resonate for you, I promise. The answer is yes. Okay? So, I hope that everybody is being safe, being warm, being all that jazz for your mind, your body, and your soul. Love, light, and abundance.